Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discussing about the important documents which is used in basically in construction projects. So the document is project charter. So this charter or project charter, what is project charter and why it is used? So we are going to discuss briefly in this video. So stay tuned till the last, and it's a very important document for all the engineers and project managers who are involved in the construction field. So it is important to prepare when you have projects, when you get a project and you need to start a project before planning, before doing any scheduling. You have to prepare one documents which will have brief description about your project. So let's dive into the details about what is project charters and key elements, and then we'll see the how to prepare a project charter. So let's see here. The definition itself is a project charter is a formal document that authorizes the start of a project. It outlines the project's objectives, scope, stakeholders, and key roles and responsibilities. The charter provides a preliminary delineation of roles and responsibility, outlines the project objectives, identifies the main stakeholders, and defines the authority of the project manager. It also serves as a reference document through the project lifecycle. So this charter itself is a very important document because it incorporates your all the brief introduction of your projects. The project objectives. Who all are the stakeholders involved in the projects, the project scope. So this is a very important document because whoever see this, documents, they can understand that this project is all about these things and this project is going to happen in this amount of time going to complete. And so this is very important documents, and I think we all have to prepare on site engineer or engineer or those who is related to the construction project, because it will give you an overall idea of what is project is all about. So from the definition you can understand that it will briefly indicates the stakeholders, key roles and responsibility, the scope. So the key elements of a project charter. So basically we have to what the data we have to include in the project charter. So we'll see step by step. So say project title, the project names, name of the project you can include. Then project purpose, a brief statement explaining the need or purpose of the project, why this project is happening and what is the main purpose of this project. Then comes project objectives, clear and measurable objectives that project aims to achieve. Then a scope, defines the boundaries of the projects, including what is included and excluded. So a scope is the result of the projects, what you are going to accomplish after completing the project. So what is inside your project, what is not in your project. So we'll see it in a few moments later. Stakeholders, with individuals or groups who have an interest in the project. So a stakeholder is very important part of the project because whatever we are doing, it is for someone's and it is for the client, or basically the client who is going to be benefited, or for the local community. So at last the project is going to be handover, and there will also be consultant. So we have to mention the individuals who are directly involved into your projects and they have the direct impact on the projects. And deliverables, the major deliverables, the outcomes or products that the project will deliver in the different stages of your projects. Then timeline, high level timeline of major milestones or phases. So timeline, you will have a project to complete given duration of time. So and the major milestones, after 3 months or after 2 months you are going to have the first RCC slab castings, or first floor story finishes. So you have to include the major milestones. Then the budget of your projects. So how much budget the project is going to spend over the period of project. Then the project manager, the individual responsible for managing, who is managing the project. Then assumption, constraints and risk. What are the assumptions, what are the constraints, and what are the risks are associated with your projects? What will be the impact of the risk or constraints? So we can understand, and basis on that one can plan the projects and mitigate the risk. So approval signature. So after preparing such charters, we have to send it to the stakeholders or those who are involved in the project to have a formally approval. So this is all about the basic elements which you have to include in the project charter. So basically project understanding this way that project charter is just a identity card of your project, that by seeing this project charters, then even simple person or simple man, those who are not much involved into the project, they can understand that there's the project objective, the scope, the budget, so what project is going to produce. So this is the overall understanding of project charter. So let's see how we will practically prepare the project charter. So and I have prepared one template for explanation. So this is project title. The first basic elements as per our consideration, key elements of project charter. So project titles, name of your project. Suppose I'm handling a project that is a hospital building construction. So the project name is 12-bed hospital building construction. This is the project charter. Then the project purposes. What is the project aims to have? So the project aims to design and construct a 12-bed hospitals. You can also identify or location, mention the location, to improve access to healthcare service in the region. This facility will provide essential medical care and service, serve as a primary healthcare center for local community. So the purpose of any project is a purpose, because we all have a purpose. In a similar way, the project has a purpose, because once suppose we have a building construction project, once the building construction hospital building is completed, then there is the beneficiary, there is the local community who is going to be benefited from this project. So that the project has a definite purposes to be built. So I have to write it in brief that this is the purpose, project purpose. Then project objectives. So this project purpose and project objective is quite confusion, but they have the difference meaning. The purposes, and you can understand from here. We have to construct a private hospital mainly to improve access to healthcare, because this project, if once this project is completed, this is going to provide healthcare services in this region, medical care and service as a primary healthcare. Then project objectives. Project objectives: complete the hospital construction within 18 months. The objectives for any project have a specific period of time for the completion. So we have to complete the hospital construction within 18 months. This is our deadline. Ensure the hospital meets all local health and safety regulations. Because hospitals or building, whatever we're going to construct, we have to follow the codes of construction, codes of ethics. So it should follow the local health and safety regulation also. Then deliver the project within the allocated budget of 15 crore. Because we will have a budget for any project. So objective is that we should not cross the budget. Whatever the budget has been allocated for this construction of hospital, we should not cross that budget. We should be into that budget one. So we have to mention that one also. Achieve a facility that meets 100% of functional requirements as for the design specifications, because any project has a definite functional requirements, because for those purpose the project has been designs and construction. It should meet that facility and it should provide that services to the public. So this is the objectives we can mention. The next element is project scope. What is scope? The objective is, you understood from above that objective, the project scope. Inside the project objective will have scope, like construction of a relevant hospitals including wards, OPD, emergency room, minor OT, diagnostics and administrative area. These are the scope we have to construct. Installation of medical equipment, electrical, plumbing and HVAC systems, firefighting systems. So this is the scope of work. You have to write in the short scope of work. What all the work you are going to conduct in this project. compliance with all relevant healthcare standards and local building regulation, landscaping and external works including parking and access roads. We have to do the landscaping works, external works. So out of scope because some works might be not included in your project. There may be something out of your scope which is not your part to do that, but it will be along your project. So like post construction maintenance and operation. Suppose we are just constructing the project and over to the client, that's it. Because but sometimes and post construction maintenance and operation will not be part of your project. Expansion beyond the 12-bed capacity. We cannot expand the hospitals beyond the 12-bed capacity because the project has been allocated and the project has been contract has been signed only for the 12-bed construction. So we cannot expand beyond the 12-bed capacity. This is the restriction and out of scope. We can do it. Then project deliverables. What is major milestone or deliverable? Project. So project managerial tasks. We have divided the project to managerial tasks. Not only major deliverables. So approved architectural, structural, and electrical and plumbing design. So first of all, we will get the working drawing of all category: architectural, structural, and MEP. Then we have to fully construct and operate 12-bed hospital building. So this is the deliverables. We have to construct hospital and it should be operational. All necessary compliance certificates and approvals. So whatever the certificates needed for the operation of hospitals, we have to get it and we have to go for the approval. So this all should be deliverable. Comprehensive handover documentation and user training for hospital staff. So once the project is completed, we have to hand over this. We have to prepare the handover documentation and also user training for hospital staff because MEP works or firefighting works, all have to prepare manuals and hand over to or train some staff from the hospital management committee or local committees who can operate once the construction period is done. Once the contractor construction demobilize their staff. Projects does not include, which is not in our scope, like construction of a process. Like if there is any activities which is necessary to do that, but which is not included in it is beyond the project. So it's called what construction. Pre-assigned resources. So these are the resources which is assigned to the project. Pre-assigned resources which is assigned to the projects when we get formal agreement to the plan for the execution of work. Then we should have human resources, financial resources, materials, equipments, documents, and so these are all audit assigned to the project for the smooth execution. So this is also, and you have to mention, or you can also briefly write about human resources like project manager, engineer, supervisor, who all are involved in this project. Financial resources, the resources where from we were getting the money, and the transactions, and who is funding this project. We have to also mention who is going to sponsor, who is the sponsor of this project. Also you can have some materials, equipment, documents, and resources. In similar way, you can assign this resource. You have the stakeholder. Stakeholder list is very important in any project. Stakeholder list, because we have client, consultant, contractor. So it is just a team of work. So we have to also mention the stakeholder list and its details, because if any issues or if any risk is concerned, then we all stakeholders gather together and solve the problem. Whose responsibility is to solve what kind of problem. So the problem can be solved by having a meeting with your stakeholders. So we have to mention stakeholders, and if any issue arises and we feel that no, this issue should be solved by client or consultant, we can make a call and tell them, or you can write a letter and can inform them that this types of issue has been arisen in the site, so make sure that you can solve. So just we'll have a formal information about the stakeholders who is involved in this project. Then come summary milestone schedule. So what this milestone like measure we can measure the projects on the basis of your milestone. So milestone like site preparation skills like this starting of the project. First we will do the site preparation analysis. So we can mention the layer, then a structure framing complete. And this framing we are going to complete the milestone 2031 to 23. Milestone building system installation like firefighting MEP. So this part is going to happen or has been completed. So we mention milestone for interior fit out and finish in 30. So this is the milestone we can mention, or we can write milestone 5 project completion and handover. This is the major milestone which we are going to achieve in the different phases of project. We have to mention that. Then project consideration. So then under project consideration we have high level risk, acceptance criteria, assumption and constraints. So high level risk, what will be the risk in any project? The risk is inevitable, but you have to mention the probability of risk, like potential delays due to weather conditions or supply chain disruption. Like we know that weather has bad impact on any projects. It will delays the project, so it can't say that whether will be good or bad. So we'll have a potential due to the weather condition. Then fluctuation in material and labor cost. Because there is a price escalation, there will be the shortage of labor, there will be the material prices rises up. So that is the risk related to the projects. Then possible changes in local regulation or healthcare standards. During the running of projects, sometimes when government changes the local regulations or any healthcare standards, so that has impact on your project, and you should be ready to solve that or mitigate that problem. Acceptance criteria, like if such risk happens or such things is going to happen, then we will have a acceptance criteria. Up to that limit we can accept the project. Like all required permits and approvals are obtained within the first 3 months of the project timeline. So in the duration of 3 months we should get all the permits and approvals. Any delays in obtaining permits do not exceed 2 weeks beyond the planned time. Like we have planned for 1 month or 1 month for any work, but during the process and during obtaining it get delayed. So the delay should not be more than 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So if you have planned for 30 days, then it should be completed in 45 days. That will be acceptable in the range of 45 days. The project schedule accounts for potential weather delays with contingency time built into the timeline to ensure that the project is still complete within the agreed upon time frame. So whether project might get affected due to delays, but the project should be completed in the given time frame. Adjusting schedules or any component. So assumptions. All necessary permits will be obtained without delays. Adequate skill levels and materials will be available throughout the project. These are assumptions. So we assume that we'll have enough material and size. We will all have all necessary documents, all permits will be ready, without any delays. That is assumptions, and will have adequate skilled manpower, enough materials will be available throughout the projects. Constraints. These are the constraints. The project must comply with WHO healthcare construction regulations. So constraints. So what is the constraints? What is the restriction? Constraint means restriction to your projects, which you can't, which is not in your control, which is not in your hand. So the project must comply with WHO healthcare construction regulation and standards, or the government regulations. The project must meet client requirement, because at last the project is going to be handed over to your client. So the client will have some requirements, so we cannot oversee the client requirements. So it must meet client requirement or consultant requirement. Project budget is strictly capped at 10 crores. So project will have budgets. We have to complete the project within the budget. So this is how we can prepare project charter, and this is the important documents for any construction. I think it is good for construction practitioners and a civil engineer, project manager. This is the must have documents for everyone. So if you like this content, and if you want to know more about such things, and if you want this template, I will share in the link, so you can download it from there and you can practice it and you can use it. It's very important documents. I request everyone, so those who are interested in the constructions and those are working in the construction, please prepare this chart and send it to your contracting office head, to your consultant, to everyone. That will be very happy. And it is also PMI Project Management Institute standards, and they ensure that we all have to use such project charter. Maybe a little bit variation in your template, but overall information is required. Is this, and so you can go through it and you can have this template. So I'll share this template. Those needed, please hit likes or message me, or I'll give you the link for the download. So thank you everyone for supporting me, and thank you for watching my video. So that's all for today. In the next coming videos, I'm going to launch a very exciting and very good content, so stay tuned. Thank you so much.